Good morning once again. Good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, and wherever you're listening, good morning to you as well. We are coming to you live from the National Emergency Center here at the NaDMA headquarters. This is our second update for today in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Joining me at this time is the Honorable Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph, our Attorney General, and she will be talking to you about the state of emergency. I also have with me Mr. Arthur Pear. He is the Deputy Coordinator at NaDMA. So we'll hear from the Deputy Coordinator at this time, and then we'll talk to Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph about the state of affairs, state of emergency.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Etienne. Good morning, Grenada. We continue to respond to the issues of Hurricane Beryl. Right now, our focus has shifted a little bit away from mainland Grenada in earnest, and we are focusing on Carriacou and PT Martinique. Yesterday evening, after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, we had a lot of issues as it relates to communications. Now we are trying to get that back up and running. We are able now to communicate with some of the administrative persons on island in Carriacou, and we have sent a team up to Carriacou, and that team would include Dr. Walters, who is the director of NaDMA. So you have police officers, persons from the Ministry of Health, persons from some of the other entities like GreenLec, Flow, and Digicel. A whole team has been deployed to Carriacou to assess some of the issues up there, see exactly what are some of the needs, and try to respond. We have also a couple boats have been also deployed to Carriacou to bring up immediate relief items that was communicated from the Permanent Secretary and the administrative body of Carriacou and PT Martinique Affairs. But we also we know definitely that persons in Grenada are ready and willing to respond and to assist their brothers and sisters in Carriacou. So we are really, really happy that persons have started to bring in items to be shipped to Carriacou. However, we want persons to be able to bring those items to the headquarters in Monjolo. We have a warehouse up here. We have to be able to record and to know exactly what we get, so that we can sort and we can repackage and send to Carriacou via some of the boats, and so persons with vessels that are willing to assist us to get much needed items to Carriacou. We have also been in touch with entities outside of Grenada. Certainly NaDMA has responded, World Food Program has responded, Samaritan Purse has responded, and they are all working towards ensuring persons get the needed items like water, food items, gas, generators, all of these items to Carriacou, so that life in Carriacou can have some degree of normalcy. We will fill you in certainly a little bit later on with some of the issues that would have happened, but just as a snapshot, we have lost almost 95% of the roof and housing stock in PT Martinique and in Carriacou, and we are trying to kind of really pull things together so that persons can have somewhat comfortable semblance so that they can continue. Okay. Again, let me express our heartfelt thanks to the general public, all right, and all those who have been praying, who have been donating, who have been really and truly just saying, look, I am ready to go to Carriacou to give assistance. So we are really, really thankful, and we look forward for your continued support as we try to respond to the issues there. Just to shift to Grenada a little bit, we know that there might be persons still in shelters. We are asking our district coordinators to respond to our text, respond to our communication, come out and tell us exactly what's happening in some of the shelters. If there are issues, if there are needs, let us know so that we could begin to provide the things that are needed at the shelters. There's also a call for the Relief Management Committee and subcommittees we want to be able to have touch base with you. So you need to call in or text. You have the telephone numbers, you have the WhatsApp message group. We want to be able to touch base with you because you too would have to assist us in mobilizing response to Carriacou. I think that is about it for now. Again, persons who are volunteering and persons who are wishing to volunteer, when we are ready for that aspect, to maybe deploy persons to Carriacou, we would let you know. Okay, I know persons are eager and everything, but we will let you know so that that can be coordinated and arranged in an organized manner.
Thank you, Arthur. We did have a lot of overwhelming support from the community of Grenada. I know a lot of the youngsters, a lot of students who are currently in SGU. They've been reaching out, trying to find out when they can step in and travel to Carriacou to assist. But as the Prime Minister alluded to this morning, as of 8 o'clock this morning, we were still unsure whether we have the road. Well, the roads were impassable, so we're still working on that. And I know a lot of the gas stations have been destroyed. Not destroyed, but damaged. And so we're working on that to ensure that once we have people on island, we can give you more updates on that and how we can deploy persons to Carriacou. So thank you very much for the updates. We are expecting an update from NAWASA. We do not have the update yet, but once we get that update, we will share it with the public. At this time, I want to invite Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph. She has an update on the state of emergency.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Press Secretary. And first, let me congratulate all of you here at NaDMA, Dr. Walters and the entire team at NaDMA here. You have done an outstanding job in keeping us updated and helping the public to remain calm during the storm. And I would join with Mr. Pierre in thanking all of the people of Grenada for their full cooperation, their selflessness, the outpouring of volunteerism and patriotism that we have seen in these past few days. And specifically on behalf of the Cabinet of Grenada, to wish all Grenadians, Carriacouians and Petite Martinicans well as we go through this period of recovery and restoration. Let us all band together to bring relief to those brothers and sisters of ours who need relief. And thanks also to the general public for your general compliance with the regulations that attach to the state of emergency that we put in place from the 30th of June at 7 p.m. At this time, given that Beryl is behind us, Hurricane Beryl is behind us, and we are now in the phase of providing relief for those affected and ensuring that we all recover quickly and that we return to normal as quickly as possible. We have determined as government that it will be in our best interest to lift the state of emergency. So the state of emergency was imposed initially in the first instance for 7 days in accordance with Section 17 of the Constitution, and the curfew was for 2 days. Well, the curfew came to an end this morning at 6:59 a.m. and now we are announcing that the state of emergency imposed on 30th June 2024 will be lifted immediately and upon publication of the relevant declaration by the Governor General in the Gazette. That formality has to take place, but it is our intention that the measures will be lifted immediately, except for the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, in relation to which the state of emergency will remain in force. So I just want to repeat that again. The state of emergency that was imposed by SRO 17 of 2024 and the attending proclamation will be lifted for the island of Grenada in its entirety, but shall remain in force on the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique until further notice. Now, in relation to the provision of the state of emergency, the regulations attaching to them, which gives certain exceptions, provides for certain exceptions in terms of closure of establishments and departments of government and so. There are some exceptions mentioned there, being the Royal Grenada Police Force, hospital and healthcare, medical services, the prison, Department of Environmental Services, waste management and sanitation companies, the airports and the seaports, gas station, government printery, and essential services for public utilities, such as water, electronic communication, and electricity. Those will remain for the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and to that we will add hardware stores, supermarkets, and insurance companies. I think I'm clear, but I just want to repeat that the state of emergency would be lifted for all of Grenada except the islands of Carriacou and the Petit Martinique, and the exceptions provided by Clause 4 of the regulations will be amended to include for Carriacou and Petit Martinique supermarkets, insurance companies, and hardware stores. And so we trust that all of us will make contributions however we can to help with the recovery efforts, particularly on the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, by sending relief supplies, and when given the all clear, as Mr. Pear alluded to, by volunteering in person if we can. So that is the status of things. The formal declarations will be published in the Gazette shortly.
Thank you, Minister. And there you have it. The state of emergency has been lifted for Grenada only. Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you're still under that advisory. We want to thank Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph for joining us this morning. And of course, she mentioned that hardware stores and supermarkets and insurance companies have been added to the list of businesses that should be open. We're encouraging hardware stores, we're encouraging supermarkets to be open, because I'm sure people who wish to donate items, relief items, would like to go to the supermarkets to purchase those items. So hardware stores, supermarkets, and insurance companies, you're encouraged to open at this time. We do have a note here at 11 o'clock. We're asking people if you have supplies that you want to go to Carriacou. I know Mr. Pear said that you should bring items here. You can bring items here as a base at NaDMA. There is a flight leaving early this afternoon, so we're also asking if you have relief items for Carriacou, you can drop off at the airport close to vgh'n or ASG in that general region, and somebody will be there to guide you and to help you package those items to travel to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Both left this morning about 10 o'clock, actually, heading to Carriacou and Petit Martinique to offer support and to send, to provide some relief supplies. We do have somebody online, Senator, if you don't mind, to take a couple calls, a couple interviews. Mr. Beggs, a couple questions, rather.
Yeah, I know you're tired.
Mr. Beggs, if you're still with us, please go ahead and ask your question. We did have somebody from Guyana joining us this morning. So I think we lost him. And somebody was also asking, as it relates to supplies, Mr. Pear, can you just reiterate what sort of supplies we want? I don't think we want frozen chicken at this time. That might not be a good item to drop off. But Mr. Pear, please tell us what are some of those items that we are encouraging
Okay, so what we want is non-perishable items. Okay, so if you have tin stuff, you have water, there's some medical supplies. Those are some of the things that we certainly would need for persons in Carriacou. Okay, some non-perishable items, water, things of that nature. Toiletries, hygiene packs, those kind of items we'd want to send for persons in need in Carriacou.
All right, thank you. All right. So just by way of correction, if you do have items, please try your best to drop them off at NaDMA headquarters. We're gonna collect at NaDMA. If you're already on your way to the airport, that's fine, but we're gonna take the items at NaDMA. NaDMA would be the drop-off point for now until we can set up some other drop-off points. So if you have items, relief items to drop off, please drop them off at NaDMA. We are here, and we are gonna be here all day, willing and waiting to assist you. So there is a flight going out to Carriacou and PT Martinique this afternoon rather, so we want to ensure that we send as much supplies as possible so the people of Carriacou and PT Martinique can get some relief and some support from us here on mainland Grenada. So thank you. This has been our 10 o'clock update. We're gonna keep you informed as usual. Our next update will be this afternoon, so please stand by for that notice. Thank you.
You're tuned into the National Emergency Operations Center of the National Disaster Management Agency, NaDMA, bringing you live updates on the impact of Hurricane Beryl, along with NaDMA's coordinated national response in collaboration with the Government Information Service and other participating media outlets and platforms. This is the official source for all disaster management information.